Okay.
How have you handled the last couple of days with the NIT and then all the other drama that's going on?
Just regular game prep for these guys. We got them 2 days off on Saturday and Sunday, and we haven't had 2 consecutive days off for a while. So just getting them relocked in. The thing you always worry about as a coach is, now when they don't have a regular routine and they're in their spring break mode, that you don't want them playing in spring break mode. You need to keep them competitive, and that's what we've tried to do the last 2 days.
When you look at the matchup, just Kamar presents a lot of issues, especially for a guy like James. Maybe how do you see the actual matchup on the floor?
Yeah, their guards are really good. When I look at where you have a clear advantage or where I like the guards matchup. I think it's going to be high level guard play, and we got to make sure and get to their other shooters. And then Isaiah Roby and those other guys have to have good games. We're going to need a productive day out of a kid like Isaiah.
You guys are in the same position you were a year ago in a 4-5 NIT game that last year obviously didn't go super well. Are you trying to do anything differently in terms of preparing for this NIT game?
Yeah, well, the first thing I'd said is, what kind of life do you have in you? Yeah, I mean, are you going to be competitive? Is this something that, like I didn't like last year's mentality. I felt like we were beating up a poor old dead mule. And I'm going to coach you hard. This group's allowed me to coach them hard. I just brought it up. Like, I mean, you've got to be in a competitive mindset. Or it's not going to go well.
Do you think they have been the last 2
I think it's been solid. I don't think it's been outstanding, but it's been solid.
Is everybody healthy? Do you have
Brady has not practiced in 2 days, so we'll just see what's going on. And then none of those other guys have. Tom's active, but he's not practicing yet.
How about you personally, just everything that's going on? And, I mean, how are you handling this from a personal level?
Well, I think what you try and do as a coach is the noise that's out there, but you do your job. I mean, I'm never going to quit on this job. I don't expect our players are ever going to quit. We're going to fight until they tell us we can't fight anymore, and that's what we're trying to do.
You guys are doing a flood relief fundraiser with the tickets. I guess how did that all come together? And
I think you tweeted it, and I said, let's do it, and I called Eaton, and he handled it, right? I think that when you look at it, we were able to partner with the Red Cross, which was an important things with, when you're in a postseason event like this, it's not always the easiest thing to do, but thank goodness the Red Cross is stepped up because a lot of people hit very hard. You look at the amount of livestock, land, bridges, how much infrastructure has been damaged and roads. It's going to be a long-term cleanup, and I've been around floods when I was at Mayville State and Fargo, and they're devastating. So I feel for all the families involved, and we just want to be able to, have a way for people to help, and that's what we're doing. And I know that's what my family's going to try and help, and we're going to try and do things to help those people directly affected.
You guys had a pretty emotional game here the last time you played. Big comeback, senior night. Is it going to be kind of odd
Part
to be back here again?
Part due, or whatever they call it.
What's it going to be like?
Well, I don't know. I think the fans will come. They've been great to us. You never know how how it's going to work out in postseason like this on a short turnaround. Hopefully we get the fans because with the students off for student break, you want that element of atmosphere and that home court advantage. And it won't be the same. We know that, but it can be really good in here either way.
You had some of the experimental rules last year. They had another one. What are your thoughts on those, and how do you prepare?
Yeah, well, I'm glad the quarters. I was never a fan of quarters, and I don't love the bonus going away and the reset of the fouls. It's hard to get to the bonus that way. That concerns me because that's an element of offense that when you've got drivers like James and guys like that you can utilize offensively, but it's not quite as easy. So I like the reset on the shot clock, though, where you got to get it out and keep playing offense. I think that's good for the players. I think everybody should have a shot clock. The high schools, I'm glad that they're making us play more out of it, even with the jump ball that stays at 20 and those things. So I think it's good. I'm not in love with the lane. I'm not in love with it. In the three, maybe, I don't mind the three being pushed out a little bit. I don't think it's to our advantage at all, but it changes the game a little bit, and I'm glad we're not playing quarters. Like, I hate those.
Hey, you pay pretty close attention to what the committee likes and what they don't, and kind of resume with NET and kind of. Did you take anything away from the way the committee looked at it?
I actually asked a guy. I called a national guy and asked him. I had a theory. I'm not going to, divulge quite yet. But I at some point, I'll probably tweet about it. I do have a theory on that, and so we'll see. But they obviously just didn't follow the net, which is fine. But they have some parameters of what they're looking for. Otherwise, how do you get a team that's only played 4 quad 1 games, or what? And the first team out is a similar situation. So what are you following? Is it the RPI? Is it the what? We're working on that.
Hey, just to be clear, is Thomas still at doubtful, questionable range?
Yeah, he hasn't practiced. So anytime you're in that situation, and he's done more, he's shot. He's moved forward, but it's more of a high ankle sprain than it is a normal ankle sprain, I'd say.
And what's Brady's deal?
He hurt his back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you have only
Good.
6 or 7 guys?
Yep.
Was that why he didn't play against Wisconsin?
No, it's because I didn't want to play him.
So the injury happened since that game?
Yeah, it happened, I think, yesterday, getting out of bed. I mean, seriously.
And then
Where's the one baseball player that, what did he do?
Like stepped on
Yeah,
the curb and
it's just something, yeah.
that Amir's out for sure.
Yeah. Our roster, we might be one less than we were last time we played. So really, if you think about it, it was really good planning by the coach to only play 6. Again.
Need a little bit more for Lewis, just concerning his pass there.
Okay, wait. Oh, do I need a little bit more from Lewis? That's what I thought you said, and yeah, obviously I do.
Well, that's
Yeah. I think it means a lot to Michael, and it should, but it means a lot to all of us. Barry Collier, I'm sure it means a lot to him. So I look forward to it, and the NIT, usually you kind of get into it, and when it starts getting competitive, when it starts to get good, and the sooner the better on our part.
Have you talked much with Barry? I know he was here at a game
earlier
this
year. Yeah, Barry's been an advocate. He's been a good guy. He's been a guy that's encouraged me personally through text or a call or whatever it might be. And I know he's back in town and for the Ohio State game, which I thought was cool. I embrace that. I want those guys to come back, and whether it be an alumni or a former coach or whatever it might be. And so I think that's always good when they can, because these jobs are really exhilarating, really stressful. There's great friendships you have, and that and you sure make some enemies probably on occasion. But at the end of the day, it's really cool to be a part of. And so having him come back, I think it's good. I think the matchup probably surprised him, but one that he's about as hopped up as Lewis is.
One last one for you.
Yeah.
Still part of the program?
Remember he's suspended. That nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed.
Nope.
Okay.
Like I said, I wouldn't put a number of games on there because I just didn't know. So I just said, hey, at the conclusion of our season, we'll deal with it.